Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I'm Marcy, and today I'm sharing a wonderful viewer recipe for Hatch Green Chile Chili. It's one that I tried last week and Tony and I enjoyed it thoroughly, so I know you're going to love it too. This recipe was sent in by Shane Norton of Dallas, Texas, who tells me he is a hardcore chili snob. In fact, this photo of him was taken at this year's Hatch Chili Festival, where he goes to pick up his chili for the year. And this recipe is his own. It's one he's been working on for a number of years, but in his family, he's famous for making it the day before Thanksgiving. What I like about it is that it uses simple ingredients, which makes it wonderful to eat any day of the year. Now, real quickly, I want to say that it's called Hatch Green Chile Chili. Chili first with an E and then chili with an I. And it's a perfect time to address the fact that a lot of times I will have people write in the comments that I have misspelled chili, that chili with an E is a country and I'm supposed to spell it with an I. But I just want to let you know that in New Mexico, we spell the chili that we grow here with an E. It's actually the Spanish spelling for Chile, but the reason we do that is we consider chili with an I to be the dish with the ground meat and beans, sort of like a Texas chili. And when we spell it with an E, we're referring to our chili pepper. In fact, in the early 80s, it was even entered into our state's congressional records that chili in New Mexico be spelled with an E. So just letting you know that I do know how to spell, but that is just something that we New Mexicans take pride in. So anyway, here's what you're going to need. 2 pounds of ground pork meat. Now this is only 1.5 pounds because that's how I can find it at my store, but Shane's recipe calls for 2 pounds. 1 small white or yellow onion chopped. 4 garlic cloves. You'll need 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour for thickness. I'm going with 2 actually heaping tablespoons of flour. You'll need 2 cups of Hatch Green Chili that has been roasted, peeled, and chopped. If you don't have it in your freezer like I do, you can use a 16-ounce jar of Hatch chili. Maybe you can find it, preferably the 575 brand, and you'll use the whole jar. You'll also need 1 16-ounce jar of Herdez brand Salsa Verde. This is mild. I don't know that they even have it in medium and hot. This is all I've ever been able to find it in, but that's perfectly fine because you want the star of this recipe to be the Hatch chili. Then you'll need 1 12-ounce can of Mexican beer, preferably Modelo or Tecate. This is obviously a 24-ounce can, but I'm going to go ahead and measure half of it out of there. Then you'll need 4 teaspoons of cumin, anywhere from 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt, and then I like to add in a little cracked pepper. And I'll put all the measurements and the recipe in the description box beneath this video. I'll also have it on my website at marcyinspired.com, and you'll be able to get a printable version. But let's go ahead and get started. First, heat up your pot with about 2 tablespoons of oil. Shane suggests using corn oil, but I'm working with the olive oil I have on hand. When it's hot, add in your diced onions and the ground pork meat and break up the meat as it cooks. Once the pork meat is no longer pink and the onions have softened, add in the minced garlic. Follow that with the chopped Hatch Green Chili and give everything a good mix for a couple of minutes. Now add in the cumin and the flour and stir a couple of minutes more. The flour is going to soak up all the oil as it cooks, and it's going to help thicken our sauce when we add in the liquid. Next, pour in the entire jar of Salsa Verde and the 12 ounces of beer, which I first need to measure out. So Tony just corrected me on how I pour the beer, apparently because I poured like this without tilting the glass. That's why it got all that foam. But how else am I supposed to get to the measurement if I tilt the glass and I don't see when I get to the 12 ounces? So this is how I've got to do it. There. When you pour the beer into the pot, there will be even more fizz. If you ever wonder why people cook with beer, the alcohol does get cooked out, but the reason that you use it is beer can work as a tenderizer when you're working with meat, or it can also add flavor. In this case, we are dealing with ground pork, so it really doesn't need to be tenderized, but it will add a whole other layer of flavor to this wonderful chili. Finally, I season with salt and some freshly ground black pepper, and all that's left to do is to let it simmer on low for a few minutes so that all the wonderful flavors can meld together and you can savor the smell that fills your kitchen, making it feel cozy, inviting, and fall-like. Well, this chili is done and it looks and smells amazing. Now you can eat it just like this, but the way Shane usually serves it is he puts it over a bed of white rice with some shredded pepper jack cheese and a dollop of sour cream. So I've got my rice cooking over here. Actually, it's all ready. Back to the stove. All right, and now a little of this pepper jack cheese. And some sour cream. Doesn't that look good? Shane says sometimes he even garnishes with pickled jalapeños, but I don't think you need it. It's so good like this. I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite, kind of get this a little mixed together, get plenty of chili. That's wonderful. Now you may wonder, is it too spicy? Well, it's as spicy as you want it. You get the chili in hot, medium, or mild, so you customize it to your liking. I like mine to have a kick, and this one is just perfect. And you should know that the other day, my mom was here when I had made it previously, and so I served her some, and she really loved it. And my mom doesn't really care for rice, so for her to have eaten it and enjoyed it, that's really saying a lot. So thank you so much to Shane Norton. I'm gonna be sending him this free Chili Snob t-shirt in the mail for letting me use your recipe on this channel, and I hope everyone else gives his recipe a try. It's really good. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my recipes. I also invite you to follow me at Marcy Inspired on Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, blessings from my kitchen to yours.